Andrew Lloyd Webber, welcome back to our program. I always love having you on the show.
Thank you very much.
Well, congrats on, by the way, Cats, the Jellicle Ball, nominated for 9 Tonys this weekend. Come on. What is it like to be Lord Andrew Lloyd Webber and walk down the streets in New York City?
Well, I tell you something.
Yes.
Yesterday, in a cafe,
Yeah.
there was a little boy being very fractious with his mother. The mother sort of talking to the boy very sensitive, got to behave yourself, got to behave yourself. Anyway, so little boy is asked by mother, do you want to see an Andrew Lloyd Webber musical tonight? Little boy says, no. So the mother says, behave yourself then.
No. That's not true. Come on, that's not... you have so much going on I want to get into as much as I can. I know you have Evita coming to Broadway next year, which people are very excited about. That is you. I also heard that you're working on a new musical.
Yeah, I'm doing a musical about the theft, a true story, the theft of the Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa was stolen and she disappeared for 3 years in 1911.
I did not know that.
Yes, and nobody at the Louvre noticed that she'd gone for 2 weeks.
Is that right?
Yes, it's one of those things. It's a very interesting one because I often wonder, and a lot of people have said, the Mona Lisa wasn't a picture that anybody particularly went to the Louvre to go and see. And had she not been stolen, would she be famous?
Ooh.
Questioned.
See, that's great. So how do you come up with that idea? You just hear it somewhere and you
Well, I was just reading in a paper about a year ago. I read this story which actually had that as a headline saying the Mona Lisa was stolen. Would she have been famous if she hadn't been? Wow. So I thought, at breakfast time, I thought, this is interesting.
Yes.
By lunchtime, I thought, it's a musical.
Yes, of course you do it. That's how you do it if you're Andrew Lloyd Webber. Cats, the Jellicle Ball, this is a whole new take on your musical Cats. It's got incredible reviews, and it's not only is it nominated for 9 Tonys, but the cast has 19 Broadway debuts.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
That's the best. That is so...
Well, that's the exciting thing. I mean, what's wonderful about this is that, I mean, it is a really, really daring show to have put on Broadway. I think the producers have done wonders bringing it there,
yes.
really. It started at PAC, you know, downtown, a couple of years ago. And it's, in a way, it's actually, I think, more like T.S. Eliot, who wrote the words, who wrote the poems, the original Cat poems. I think it's far more like he would have wanted, in a way, than actually maybe the Broadway production was originally.
You think so?
Yeah, because he was very keen that the cats would never be pussycats. He didn't want them. He turned down, which is something people don't really know, he turned down a huge offer from Disney to have Cats as the follow-up to Fantasia in the 1930s.
Because he didn't want...
And his widow said it's because Tom, that's T.S. Eliot, didn't want them to be pussycats.
Wow.
And he wanted them to be earthy street animals.
Wow.
And they are.
And they are, yeah. You also have another interesting production. You were hinting at this. You knew about this last time you were on our show.
Yes, well,
you couldn't say anything.
The Phantom was extremely displeased, the Phantom of the Opera, to be turned out of the Majestic Theatre.
Yes.
Which he observes is currently empty.
Yeah, he knows.
And he moved to 57th Street, where he, in a much better address, he thinks.
So this is... Masquerade is the Phantom of the Opera, but this is immersive. And you were hinted at this last time.
Well, you go through, really, the Phantom's story as told by him. And so sometimes you're as close to the actors as we are.
Really?
You know, I mean, and people are singing to you as close as that, which is really exciting. I mean, I've always in my life wanted to break the rules when it comes to theatre.
Yes.
And it's really, really... wonderful to have something which is a musical and the performers are literally as close as they are. Right there.
Yeah, everyone has to wear masks, by the way, when you attend this. So there you are there, and you're there. And you walk in and everyone's dressed up and wearing masks, and then you get led room to room. It's an immersive play. And it is another fantastic reviews for this as well. I mean, you're the talk of the town. Is there 6 casts going on at once?
Well, there are 6, yes, there are 6 casts. They don't all play absolutely at once, but they start and they go a quarter of an hour apart. So at any one time, there are 6 casts actually in the same building doing the show, but a quarter of an hour apart.
How do you even write this?
Well, this is a very good question. I mean, I have to say that one of the most interesting things is to be backstage Oh my goodness! I mean, that really is something. Can I once sat and watched one whole chunk of the show and saw all 6 casts do the same thing, a bit like Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
It was the bit where the boat comes through, you know, and they sing Phantom of the Opera, and then they sing Music of the Night. Really fascinating because all 6 casts, of course, brought a different thing to it.
Yeah.
And that's the wonderful thing about live theatre, because of course, you know, every time you see a show and you've got a cast change or something, you know, there's always a different interpretation.
Would you ever make another Phantom film?
I think there's talk of it. I don't know how definite, but I mean, it's certainly on the cards.
Well, you have a good eye for casting. Who do you think could be...
Well, look, I mean,
it could be anyone.
it could be anybody.
Could be
It's
right under your nose.
Well, I know you sing.
What?
I know you sing.
I don't know. No big deal.
Where's the piano?
No, who would you think? Who would be good?
I'm not going to tell you, actually.
Okay.
I can't tell you. I tell you who I did want years ago was Antonio Banderas. But sadly, that never happened. It was a shame, I think. In the original movie, it would have been great. If
He would have been fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I'm around if you need me.
I thought talk later.
Thank you. Yeah, I can already hear you walking out of the building. But I thought it'd be great, since you do have a great eye and ear for casting, if I brought up some giant pop stars, maybe tell me what roles you think would be great for them. Mm-hmm. Is that interesting? Mm-hmm. Taylor Swift.
Okay, I'm going to bank that one. Go on, go on.
Yes. Ariana Grande.
Go on, go on.
Rosalia.
Yes, great Rosalia. Yes, love her.
Harry Styles.
Harry Styles, like him.
Yes. So far, these are all castable people.
And are we going to try and get them in one musical? I'm beginning to think The Sound of Music, because they play all the children. You could play the captain.
Yes, of course. You heard that, right? That's a verbal contract. That's a verbal contract.
You could play the captain. Now, the question then is, who's going to play Maria of them? What do you think? Taylor Swift would be good as Maria, wouldn't she?
She would.
Rosalia would be very, very good. I think Ariana,
I think
she's more Liesel. I think she's more
Liesel, yeah.
16 going on 17.
Yes, she could do that, yeah.
Harry Styles, he could be the boy, couldn't he? 18-year-old.
Yes.
I am 16 going on 17.
Just change it to 23 going on 24.
I think we've done it. Now you'd go and see that movie, wouldn't you, as a remake?
How about Rihanna?
Oh, Rihanna. When I got a story to tell about Rihanna.
Do tell.
No, this is not good. The thing was, I used to do in Britain a Saturday night TV casting thing where we used to cast a lead for a musical. And funnily enough, we did The Sound of Music. Anyway, so I rather kind of pride myself on spotting talent. I'm in Barbados about 20 years ago, okay, 15 years ago. And we're in Sandy Lane Hotel, where they have a kind of karaoke thing that goes on. Well, not karaoke, really. It's a singer with a kind of band, and it's...
Yes.
There was this rather good singer there, and a great friend of mine who worked on this TV show too said, we ought to take this girl back to London. She's absolutely fantastic. I said, do you know what? You always think that when you're on holiday, you always think that somebody's wonderful. We'll get her back to London. We won't know what to do with her. I'm not very good. He said, no, I want to do it. I said, no, I don't think I want to do it.
Yes.
Didn't. The girl's name was Rihanna.
And was she phenomenal?
Oh, she was phenomenal.
Yeah.
But you know what it is? I mean, you know, it's late and I probably had a drink, you know, and didn't do anything, no.
Well, you can still take credit for Rihanna.
My fault.
Yeah, that's his fault. Yeah. Well, I wish you the best of luck and have so much fun at the Tonys. And thank you so much for coming back to our show. We love you and we're honored to have you.
No, thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Lord Andrew Lloyd Webber, check out Masquerade here in New York City and Cats, the Jellicle Ball on Broadway at the Broadhurst Theater. We'll be right back. Go see Broadway!